Hello friend, and welcome to a brand new video. It is your creative, weird makeup artist pal Kat to bring you a chit chat get ready with me today. I hope you guys are having a great day, and shout out to these people who left amazing comments. You guys could support my channel even further if you want to go check out my Amazon wish list, and we do lives every Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on Amazon. There'll be a link down below to that as well. It'll be all over my social media accounts. We have a P.O. box where you can write to me. And before we get started on this video, I'm gonna do a little trigger warning in case anyone may be triggered or have any emotions about something we're going to talk about is eating disorders, a lot of food in this video. So if any of that is something that you're very sensitive to or you don't want to hear about, there's more videos on this channel and a lot more coming up that aren't about food or eating disorders, but we are going to mention eating disorder and talk a lot about food. So I'm just warning you now. But today while getting ready, I wanted to talk about impulse buys, and not just any impulse buys when it comes to food. If you guys didn't know this, I actually grew up with an eating disorder to where I would only eat probably 500 calories a day. It started when I was around 12 years old, and it was really bad in high school. I lost so much weight to where I was like 120 pounds. I had dropped almost 60 pounds because I thought I was very overweight, and a lot of people in my life at the time thought it was a good idea if I joined a weight loss program at the age of 12, which got even worse when I was in high school because I was getting bullied a lot and etc, etc. Not only that, but how I even to this day have a relationship with food. Like lately I've been very anxious, and I've noticed that my intake of food is like really hard to control, to be honest. Like growing up in a household where we show each other love through food with family gatherings and everything, it made me realize just there's some foods where I cannot keep them in my house. They won't trigger me, but it will just be bad. I'll eat the whole container, bag, every morsel, every drop, every last piece and crumble in said box or bag. And that's what we're going to talk about today. And I know there are a lot of people that actually have really healthy relationships with food, even here in America where we just factory make and chemically alter things to be addictive. There are still people that have really healthy relationships with food, but me personally, I cannot buy these things, keep them in my house, because I will be non-stop eating them, the whole entire thing. It's really hard for me to control myself around these certain foods. And honestly, this video is not that serious. Like, it's just certain things where they're so delicious, like, it's hard. And I'm one of those girls who is a chip, salty, crunchy. If there's a salty and a sweet intermix, like a kettle corn, amazing as well. If there's a sweet with a crunch in it, amazing. As you'll see in the recurring themes of these snacks that I absolutely cannot control myself around. The first one being, which is really hard to find out here, and I can't find a big bag of them, which was maybe a good thing. I could only find like those bags that aren't a single serving, but they may have 3.5 servings at gas stations. It's really hard to find these Tapatio Doritos. Listen, they're just as spicy going down your gullet as they are coming out your booty. To be honest, TMI, but they are like my all-time elite favorite chip. They're not too spicy. You could eat a lot of them without roughing up your mouth like, say, a hot Cheeto Taki would. There's just something about this to where it's not too spicy. There's some that has little flavor and some that has extreme flavor. It's just everything I've ever dreamed of in a chip is the Tapatio Dorito. I grew up eating Tapatio. We had like a condiment, like at least half a dozen hot sauces selection, choose at your own choice, on our dining room table growing up at my house. Everyone came to my house to eat. And now I'm realizing why, because I grew up with even going back to my parents' house, it's like, it's uncontrollable. One of the sweets I cannot keep in my house because I will literally eat the whole bag, and it's in a perfect spherical shape which makes it hard because they're so easy to eat. It's Brookshire Acai Dark Chocolate Morsel Little Balls. Not the pomegranate, not any other that this brand, this specific form of little chocolate delicious morsel comes in. It's the acai one. You're either a dark chocolate girl or you're not. I'm a dark chocolate girl, and this is just addicting. I know people that don't even like dark chocolate will tear this up for good reason. Listen, if you know what an Aldi is, it is a German, I want to say, grocery store. Aldi is amazing. Whether you're there for affordable groceries, whether you're there for all the snacks, they have alcohol, they have a range of cheeses and imported meats and snacks and cookies and baked items. But when I tell you, they have these line of cauliflower dips, and I'm like, sweet. Cauliflower is being turned into pizza, into rice, as we explained in the other video, which triggers me, and into, you know, all types of delicious things. Cauliflower, is it in macaroni pasta? I don't know, but they had this cauliflower buffalo dip. It's a buffalo cheese cauliflower dip. When I tell you, they had this, and they have a Texas flavored spice mix tortilla chip. I bought these two things thinking, oh, maybe they won't be that good. Let's try them. My boyfriend is not a chip and dip type person like I am as much. We could not keep our hands off of this. It did not last longer than 2 days in our household. It was that bad. And the chip bag is bigger than my actual entire head and neck put together. Even with these buns, like, it's wider than this, it's bigger than this. Was delicious. I just regret buying it. I can never buy that again. It just does not last. I'm pretty sure I gained like an entire baby worth of weight in my tummy from that. Even though it says healthy, that's the trick. You feel like you're eating something that's like, ooh, this is cauliflower? Cauliflower. I'm getting my veggies in. So you eat the whole entire thing. You spread that on tortillas with like a salad wrap. It's healthy. Cheese, buffalo, health, cauliflower. Until the whole bag up and went into your gullet. Now there's a difference between a foodie and a food slut, and I'm definitely like on the cusp, on the border, riding the fence in between those two. Because there are some items on this list I made of stuff I cannot control myself around. That's like, what? That's like the equivalent of like a deep dish frozen pizza covered in blue box mac and cheese. I'm like, I know. But when I tell you, one time, me and my boyfriend decide to get like exotic coffee creamers, I call them. Coffee Mate is deadly, so is International Coffee Creamer brand. They had this coffee creamer, I think they still have it. It is Snickers. Snickers coffee creamer. We would catch ourselves, each other, me and my boyfriend living together at night, sipping the coffee creamer in like little shot glasses in the dark in the kitchen at night, thinking the other person was asleep. It was a real life My Strange Addiction moment. Like, what's wrong with us? We need help, right? That's literally what we told each other. It was bad. It was so delicious. It's so creamy. I'm not even a Snickers type person. I'm not like the one who gravitates towards Snickers. I'll take a Butterfinger or a Payday over Snickers. But there's something about the Snickers coffee creamer, I can't keep my hands off it. We can't buy it anymore because we will literally be in the kitchen late at night, going to town, drinking it like it's an espresso shot. You know those people who like will eat cheese from the bag out of the fridge? We did that with this creamer and it was not healthy, so I can't buy it anymore. Speaking of sweets, I'm an ice cream person. Like, I'm one of those people, like, before the Panini Express, I was like, ooh, you know what sounds good right now? Let's go to well, in California, it was Rite Aid, had the best ice cream. But Miss Baskin Robbins, let's go to Miss Baskin Robbins and get us, they have this baseball nut ice cream. It's like homemade, like grandmother homemade jam, interlaced with salted cashews with vanilla ice cream. I had a good friend in California. We were total whores for this ice cream. It was so delicious. And it still is. And they only sell it during, like, I want to say the springtime. because I remember paying taxes around the time I got that ice cream. But it's so delicious. There's something about it with that jam that tastes like a grandmother made it, that literally tastes like a pie in an ice cream form. I don't know what it is about that ice cream, but I think about it at least 3 times a year. But there's another ice cream, if you do not have a Baskin Robbins near you, that during that time of year, that is absolutely fantabulous, in every single like chain grocery store I feel like has either Moose Tracks or Bunny Tracks. And what they are little like Reese's peanut butter cups, but in like other shapes, in vanilla ice cream with chocolate shell swirled into it. When I tell you I'm a chocolate shell like extremist, oh my goodness, like I cannot keep chocolate shell in my home, because you know it's the chocolate syrup you pour on top of your ice cream and you put it in the freezer. It sets to this delicious candied shell that's crunchy and like fudge in a sundae, but a crunchy shell. Like what more would you want and need in life? But my problem is I'm way too creative. Like I will get that chocolate shell, I will make cookie dough that I could eat and pour the chocolate shell on it, put it in the freezer, and I'll have like chocolate shell covered cookie dough ball bites. You can make like cheesecake chocolate shell in your freezer. So it's like a cheesecake chocolate. Oh, when I tell you, I just cannot keep chocolate shell in my home whatsoever anymore, because it's way too dangerous. It's literally like an addiction. Like, you know those girls that show those baked oatmeals on TikTok? I'm like, how in the world, what kind of witchcraft is that? And they have the shell on top of it to where it's like this delicious shell crack before they get to the oatmeal or ice cream. Oh. I'm so glad this contour is working out, because I was nervous. I've never done this extreme. Like, I didn't know that much came out of this little concealer thing for contour. It's my first time using this. Now, you either love or don't like or have not tried Mexican candy. I cannot keep it in my house, specifically these 3. They have this thing called a burrito de mango that I've had at this gas station that is literally down the street from me. It's so dangerous. And what it is a tamarind like fruit roll-up thing, and in the middle of this tamarind like fruit leather roll-up thing, wrapped is this moist, delicious like puree of mango. So you get the hit of the sweet, salty tamarind with the mango and the, oh, so amazing. And it's so cheap and delicious. Like, I sell out the store. It's very dangerous. I can't have it in my house. Also, those little like strawberry balls, the Mexican candy strawberry balls, those are dangerous because they're so little, portable, and handy to just pop into your mouth. Another one that's really dangerous is those, they look like peanuts and they're tamarind candies that are hard shell and they're gooey on the inside. I will literally be like eating those, sucking on them, and chewing them until the inside of my cheeks go raw. Like, I can't do it. I can't keep them in my house. My cousin, when I visit her, she would have them in her house and we would all like be fighting over them. And like I told you, chips is a thing. Me and chips is very dangerous. And they have this Tostito chip. If you have not tried it and you like Fiesta lime-like chips, they're called Hint of Lime and they're so amazing. I'm really dangerous around Mexican food restaurants, and these just remind me of like the fresh guacamole without an avocado with a chip, with the salted chips from a Mexican restaurant. That's what this reminds me of. It is so addicting. There's not that much flavor to it. Like, it's very, of course, hint of lime, but there's something about it that's so addicting. They have these flecks of like lime zest on it and this powdery like flavoring. I don't think I could eat them. There's a lot of things on that I'm thinking about that I used to be addicted to, and I still am, but I'm allergic to them. And I think I'm allergic to these, but they're so freaking delicious. I used to put them in this, dip them into this ranch. Listen, if you're a ranch girl, a ranch person, I'm talking you dip your pizza in ranch, you dip your chicken nuggets in ranch all out everywhere. Try the Lighthouse brand ranch in the jalapeno ranch flavor. It's in the produce section of grocery stores. It's so good. I don't even know if it's classified as a dressing, salad dressing, as much as it is a dip for your vegetables. But I dipped my hint of lime chips in it. It is out of this world. I'm gonna grab my newest eyeshadow palette because I haven't been playing with it enough. This is the Makeup Revolution. It's Birds of Paradise palette, and look at these two are the ones I really want to use. Like a good bright pink and a bright blue. We're using Macaw right here. But if you like sweet and salty, and you love a good Trader Joe's, which I have a love-hate relationship with Trader Joe's because they should be definitely catering more towards communities that need Trader Joe's, especially here in Houston, but they will not put them in smaller towns, communities that have a higher poverty rate. They're just very stingy. But Trader Joe's has this one candy bar, and it's probably one of the top 3 best candies I ever put in my mouth. It is a dark chocolate sea salt candy bar. There's flecks of sea salt in it, which sounds weird, I know, but on the inside it has caramel inside filled throughout this dark chocolate candy bar. As you know, I'm a dark chocolate gal. I love me some dark chocolate. Another thing that is extremely hard for me to keep in the house, I should never buy these. Every single time I'm at a party and they have this potato chip, every single time my grandmother and mom invite me to their place to come visit and they have this potato chip, I will eat every single morsel of this chip. It's dangerous. It's the sour cream and cheddar Ruffles potato chip, the ridges, the very bright orange like powder goodness on it. It's very hard to stay focused, stay human, not eat it all. Like, what is it like for people that have restraint? Because these are all the things I cannot restrain myself. I cannot buy them. I cannot keep them in my house. I think this is also why I cook so much, is because say I want my favorite new dressing, I make this dressing and I have to get green onions and cilantro and Greek yogurt and lime juice, and I gotta get fresh garlic and all this stuff and put it in a blender and blend it up. That's some work, but I'm willing to do it for that. But it's just so easy to buy those processed like ranch at the store. So I started cooking more because I'm allergic to everything, and not only that, but because I will eat less of it if I have to work an hour on a delicious like nacho plate instead of just buying nacho flavored chips from the store. You know what I mean? I feel like it helps me in some way. That's why I got into cooking. If you see my Instagram stories, I cook a lot because I'm allergic to a lot, and I have to eat a lot of fresh produce, fresh ingredients. There's a lot of packaged foods I'm highly allergic to, and it's like seriously deadly for me to intake a lot of even processed creamers and chips now, unfortunately, even though that's my jam. But a good decent, I'm addicted to salsa and chips, and a good decent tortilla chip, plain tortilla chip, I'm not allergic to. I'm using the color Vacay right now, this beautiful pink. Sodas. I'm a soda girl, and I've been a little over a month away from diet soda. Diet soda has a vice grip entire hold on my soul and heart. Specifically these two sodas, the Diet Ginger Ale, not the Diet Ginger Ale Lemonade, Diet Ginger Ale specifically. There's something about it. It tastes like rancid weirdness at first, but then it has this crisp, refreshing flavor to where I get addicted to it. I can't keep it in my house because I will go through a case, a 12 pack, in less than a week. And the other soda I'm addicted to, unfortunately, is Coke Zero. Not Diet Coke, not regular Coca-Cola, not Cherry Coke, not anything but Coke Zero. There's something about Coke Zero. I wonder if they actually put a drug into it because it's that addicting. It is so freaking good to me. And I know it's bad. I know it's bad. Oh my goodness, I used to hate watermelon fake flavoring. What I mean is like watermelon candies, until this candy came into my life and took a hold of my entire heart that leads to the intestine that enjoys this candy. It is the Jolly Rancher Bites. They are like these gummies that are kind of like a softer version of a Sour Patch Kid. They have a slight sourness, but more sweet than Sour Patch Kid, and they're covered in sugar. They're a little chewy, rubbery on the outside, but the inside is soft, gooey, and delicious. They're red and green. I like the green apple, and I think the other flavor in it, that's the red one, is the watermelons. When I tell you this is the most addicting sour gummy candy, if you love sour gummy candies, be careful of this, because I don't know what they put in it, but it is, I cannot keep it in my house. I think I might be allergic to it now, but I can't do it because I would probably try it. I cannot keep it around. Oh my goodness, salt and vinegar chips, do we have a history? The kettled salt and vinegar chips, not only do salt and vinegar chips that aren't kettle, like the crunchier version of the chip, tear your absolute mouth apart. They demolish the inside, the roofs, the sides of your cheeks, all of your tongue, in your entire mouth, like a bad fixer-upper contractor. But the salt and vinegar chips, the Cape Cod kettle ones, I was addicted to. I would get them every single time. It was that time of the month and I craved them. And then I started getting extremely sick, not be able to suck in my stomach. I looked pregnant, bleeding in my intestines, out my rear, like lethargic. I was dropping things, just super clumsy, like felt like I was gonna pass out dropping things, all from this chip, this Cape Cod salt and vinegar chip that I couldn't keep in my house because I would eat the whole bag in 3 days. I feel like growing up, I wasn't the only one that's family went to a local diner that had, like, you know, peppermints, pillow mints, saltwater taffies, individually wrapped, stuff like that at the front just for customers to take. My local diner that me and my parents went to growing up had Andes mints. I can't eat Thin Mints, Girl Scout cookies. That's another one. Girl Scout cookies, Thin Mints, and Samoas, can't keep them in my house, especially Samoas. But these Andes mints remind me of the Thin Mint cookie, but in a chocolate form. They were like this very thin, bright green, artificially tinted bright green mint on the center. I'm sure it was like a white chocolate mint ordeal. And then on the outside, it was like just milk chocolate with this mint that was so delicious. Like, I could not buy those. The fact that growing up I didn't know that you could actually purchase said mints. I thought they were only like at diners as a child. But then I discovered they could be purchased at stores, and my whole life turned when my grandmother had them in her home. So dangerous. So dangerous. Andes mints. Everyone in my family liked them, even people that claimed they hated chocolate and mint combos, that they hated milk chocolate, all that. They couldn't stop eating Andes mints because they're that good. Frozen taquitos. It's like the pizza roll of my dreams. Me and my boyfriend both have a scary addiction to taquitos because it's one of the fast packaged foods. If I could find one that I'm not allergic to, that's super dangerous to keep in my freezer. This rarely happens, but you know when you put them in the oven or microwave to reheat them to be able to eat them, and they're either scalding hot or they're cold, like frozen still inside? If they're still frozen inside, like, I will eat them with sauce and salsa or not. Speaking of salsa, homemade delicious salsa, cannot keep it in my house. I will eat it from the spoonful at night, in the middle of the night by myself, with just illumination of the light of my fridge, just straight with a spoon, no chip. That's how bad homemade salsa addicting to me. Oh my goodness, there's this one, I don't know who, I'm not a sports girl, I don't know who this sports player is, but he came out with his own version, like his own flavor ruffle, and it's a lime jalapeno ruffle, I'm pretty sure. But this man must have extraordinary taste buds that are very similar to mine, because this is one of the best ruffle chips I've ever eaten in my life. I recently had an affair with this chip. We had a whole entire relationship. Like, I was literally cheating on my boyfriend with this chip that I discovered on my Thanksgiving vacation when I visited my family. I saw this in the chip aisle and I saw I wasn't allergic to it because it didn't have anything I was allergic to in it. So I'm like, let's get her. I literally ate that whole chip in a day. I even was asking other people, don't you want this? It's like the best chip I've ever eaten in my life, and I ate the whole bag. Like, it was like my childhood all over again, but opposite. Instead of me like starving myself, I was binging. I was always on like a binge day on the week and then a starvation. It was really bad growing up. If you ever heard of C's Candy, if you don't have a store like in California like we did, or a C's Candy store near you in person, unfortunate. I feel bad for your soul, like sing Ursula's theme song, but you could buy them online and they're delicious. You could get an assortment of all kinds, nuts and chews. You could get fruits, you could get ones without nuts, you just get cream truffles, you could get all of the above. My favorites are, they have this white nougat with an almond honeycomb thing. That's good. My all-time favorite is the Bordeaux. It's like a chocolate whipped truffle with chocolate sprinkles on a chocolate shell. My other favorite is, they have an apple pie white chocolate filled truffle. It's everything you imagine to be. It tastes like they put an apple pie crust in it. The molasses chips are they're so, I know the whole entire menu of this C's Candy shop by heart. I had a best friend that worked there. That was dangerous. I cannot buy this for myself. I buy it for all the people all of the time because I cannot purchase this myself. I remember one of the first gifts I gave my boyfriend's family was this, and they're like, I could tell they're kind of skeptical, like, why did she give us candy as a gift? Then they ate it and they're like, oh my gosh, where'd you get this candy? Where can we get more? Speaking of candies, have you ever heard of snow caps? They are these beautiful pastel candies that look like chocolate chips, but they're pastel chocolate chips, but they don't taste like chocolate. I don't know what they are. Are they white chocolate? Not sure, but they're covered in sprinkles on just one side, the bottom of it. They are so addicting. They melt in your mouth, and then the little sprinkle, white solid circle sprinkles pop in your mouth. They're so delicious, addicting, easy to melt in your mouth and eat, and amazing. I forgot what this honey was. This brand of honey specifically. I love honey so much, but I can't keep this honey in my house because I will eat it by the spoonful. Just salsa and honey like a heathen. You'll catch me eating it. Growing up, I wasn't allowed to have, we weren't having like white bread in the house, chocolate chip cookies, macaroni and cheese, butter. We had margarine instead. We had wheat bread instead of white bread. Instead of the sugary cereals, we were allowed, I think the sugariest one was Kix, but we had Raisin Bran and stuff like that. But the one cereal, we had our grandma's house as an escape to eat like butter smashed into the crevices of those thick frozen Eggo waffles. And we had cheesecake frozen bites, white bread with real butter, all the good stuff. But the one thing she also had that was like literally, I cannot buy them because I would be addicted to them. I would literally eat it without milk, is Captain Crunch cereal. I don't care if it's berries Captain Crunch, all berries. I don't care if it's peanut butter Captain Crunch. I don't care if it's regular Captain Crunch. That's the OG. That's what I grew up on. I will eat it all. Cannot keep it in my house. Especially when I found out that they crust like French toast in Captain Crunch. Game changer. Once you get that creative with my food addictions, it's, oh my gosh, dangerous to have. I cannot buy Captain Crunch. It will literally destroy my life. You will see me crusting chicken in Captain Crunch and frying it in the middle of the night at 2 in the morning. Speaking of peanut butter Captain Crunch, regular, schmegular, creamy peanut butter, even crunchy peanut butter, any type of peanut butter that isn't natural peanut butter, I literally buy natural peanut butter just so I won't be eating it by the spoonful in my cupboard, in my pantry. I cannot keep peanut butter in my house because me and my boyfriend will both eat it unless it's natural. So I just buy natural peanut butter because you gotta stir it. There's like a whole rule book with natural peanut butter. Tamales. These specific green chili Trader Joe tamales, even though I'm a huge fan of La Indiana tamales in Los Angeles, California, the Trader Joe tamales are so cheap. They're so convenient, are in your freezer and pop in the microwave. They're dangerous, they're so delicious. They're not healthy for you either. I feel like they're a hybrid tamale of like convenient Hot Pocket version of tamales, but they're tasty and easy, which is unfortunate. The white chocolate peppermint bark, oh my goodness. I, again, think I'm not a mint chocolate person, but every single time around Christmas time, I'm sure you get it year round now, the white truffles from Lindt with red vine licorice combined, out of this world, otherworldly. Aliens must have invented it. It's a different experience. It will take you to another parallel universe when you eat those together. Speaking of candies, during certain times of years, the Robin Egg Whoppers. They're so beautiful. They look like the makeup on my face. They're not only beautiful, but they have a hard shell of candy with a shell of chocolate with Whopper malt deliciousness that I'm definitely allergic to now in it. The texture of the shell, not only that, but the malt crunchiness of it is out of this world. It's probably in my top 3 favorite candies. I cannot ever keep those because I'm definitely allergic to them, and I will try to eat them because my freaking brain does not know better. No, it does. I just have to restrain myself. The way that they dye your tongue, that yellow tone or pastel tone, if you look at your tongue right after you put it in your mouth, and then just the texture of it melting on your tongue is literal an experience that I enjoy. It's a literal addiction. These candies are addictions. I can't keep them in my house. They also have the same time of year that they sell these during Easter. They have these Peeps. You're either a Peep person or not. I'm a Peep person. I'll eat Peeps. But there's these ones that are red velvet with white chocolate dipped on the bottom, or like a birthday cake one. Those are otherworldly addicting because you know me and chocolate shell. Me and chocolate shell, it's literally like sinfully good. I'm gonna try these Fantasy Maker limited edition from Halloween eyelashes that I have. This is in the style Enchant because I ran out of the purple ones that they had. Oh my gosh, they're so great. Oh my goodness, but now that I can't eat certain chips, what I found is, or croutons, when I put crunchy stuff on my salads, I found those Parmesan crisps that literally taste like the delicious edge cheesy crispiness of a cheeseburger. Like, you know how when they have cheeseburgers and the cheese like kind of crusts outside from onto the griddle from outside of the burger patty? That's what this tastes like. It's addicting, and I start eating them like Cheez-Its. Oh my gosh, I miss Cheez-Its. I can't have them anymore, but I was a total horror fan of white cheddar Cheez-Its. Oh my gosh. And Wheat Thins. I was addicted to Wheat Thins, especially the, was it sun-dried tomato Wheat Thins? I love those because they taste like pizza. I remember when I first started YouTube, I tweeted about how much I loved Wheat Thins, and they actually sent me a free box of Wheat Thins. And that was my claim to fame on YouTube. That was the best, I'm kidding. Speaking of crunchy cheesiness, do you remember, I heard they're smaller now and they're more expensive, but, well, everything's more expensive now. But the popcorn tins during Christmas, don't keep that in my house. Do not gift it to me. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200 because I will literally possibly eat that whole tin in like just a couple of days. I'm not even a fan of the regular popcorn flavor, but I'll mess with it. But I'm a huge fan of the cheddar and the caramel sections. If you don't know what they are, they literally look like trash bins decorated with Christmas themes on the outside of them that they sell in stores in the US, and they're divided into 3 sections inside, and one section is caramel popcorn, one section is cheddar popcorn, and one section is a regular buttered popcorn usually. Sometimes they have 4 sections, and there'll be like a white cheddar and a yellow cheddar and then the other 2. But I literally now just realized I never finished my brows. But now with those popcorn tins, they have Flamin' Hot Cheeto ones and regular Cheeto ones. I've never tried that. I've just seen them. They came out with this, I think, during the pandemic sometime, and they look amazing. Oh my gosh, speaking of cheese, fresh mozzarella balls. Mozzarella. Oh my gosh, I cannot keep that in my house. That's why I don't think I've ever tried burrata, because I heard it's like that but better. But fresh mozzarella, like, I'm not a type of person that will be in my fridge eating cheese out of the bag, but I will eat fresh mozzarella. I don't like Baby Bells. I don't like certain types of cheeses by itself. I like pepper jack by itself and fresh mozzarella. Fresh mozzarella is the top. The creaminess of it, I don't know what it is about it. It's so good. I need a new thing of my favorite brow gel. This is the Covergirl Easy Brow. Speaking of like cheap eats that are so easy to find and come by that I'm so addicted to, and some of them I'm not allergic to yet, luckily or unfortunately for me, because I'm addicted to those cheap, disgusting little, they look like cocktail weenies, but they're not. They are the pepperoni sausage sticks, the mini ones that are like this. It starts looking like a Slim Jim cut in half, but they're made out of turkey. And they have this like satisfying crunch casing, like little snap to the outside and then nice meaty inside. I don't know what it is about these, but I'm addicted to them. Me and my friend, childhood friend, when we went to college together, we would literally just go to the gas station, get these and chips and eat those as our lunch on our lunch break, because we had like no time between classes and we were both working as well. Another thing that's super addicting, and it seems like it's healthy, but it's not if you eat 5 bags of them, especially because they're pre-portioned usually, is those Quest chips. The taco ones are amazing. I like the cheese ones. These things are dangerous. They're like a high protein chip with all different flavors. They even gave me free ones one time, and they're so addicting, but they're pricey. So it's like for a bag of one, you get a whole huge bag. You know, because they're like special chips with high protein. I cannot keep them in my house because I think they're healthy because they're high protein and they're like low calorie, but I'll just eat it all. Speaking of hard shell candies, oh my goodness, hard shell ice creams, bonbons. Remember bonbons? They still sell them. I think they're by the Dryers brands ice cream, and they even have them in movie theaters. I know they did in California. I'm in the movie theaters out here in Texas. But they're so addicting, and they have ones with nuts in it or little crispies. But bonbons are amazing. Even as a kid, I would just want to go to the movies, even if it was a crummy movie, just to eat bonbons. I cannot keep them in my house. I know there's a point where you could actually buy them to have in your house. Another thing I can't, of all things that I keep in my house, is tubes of ice cream. I don't know what it is. This lip color's not working. Not tubes of ice cream, tubes of icing. Like, you know how when you decorate cakes and you get a tube of icing? I can't keep those in my house, like especially leftovers, because when I was a kid and I wasn't allowed to eat certain sweets and sweet, like sugary, you know, cereals, I would get my sweets some way and I would sneak into the kitchen. I can't believe I'm admitting this, but I would eat the tubes of icing and condiments especially. And my mom didn't know. Well, maybe she did know, but I don't think she knew. Oh my gosh, those, do you know what those honey mustard pretzel bites are? Those are good. I can't keep those in my house either. Too addicting. And that is our completed look with my strange addictions of food. Things I cannot keep in my house because I will just eat it all. I have no restraint from these foods. I hope you guys enjoyed chatting with me and watching this video. I had so much fun doing this cute, pretty look. All the products I use in this video will be listed down below in the description box. Again, you can subscribe for more videos because we do videos every Monday and Friday here on this channel. There is a new series coming up. I'm so excited. Check out my Amazon live show down below, my P.O. box and my Amazon wish list, and I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you have fun. I hope you have a great week, and I love y'all. Bye.